chestnut seats. TKO keeps raising up the cost on every fan, taking away the matches, then asking more again. Higher price, less in hand, that deal feels upside down. They squeeze the crowd for every dime while crushing what we found. The card gets thin, the buzz gets old, the trust gets worn and torn. You charge us more for less each time, and still you act reborn. We paid for the seat, we paid for the view. Now they want more from us. What are we meant to do? Into somewhere, into somewhere. Jade keeps telling the truth. Into somewhere, into somewhere. We see through all the proof. Brock did not retire. Roman's on repeat. Into somewhere, into somewhere. Fans get press, not Let the pipes cry out over broken promises. Let the names ring sharp through the empty promises. Not retired, not revived. Just the same old script on a bigger prize. Into somewhere, into somewhere. Jade keeps telling the truth. Into somewhere, into somewhere. We see through all the proof. Brock did not retire. Roman's on repeat. Into somewhere, into somewhere. Fans get pressed, not seen. We hear it every week. Into somewhere, into somewhere. The system's gone weak. Jake on the mic. Into somewhere tonight. We slug the clips. We call the fight. From news to preview to one-way review. If it hit the ring, we brought it to you. Hey, banana clown, we cover the news. So preview or review, whatever it was, we brought it to you. Make your way to the great egress, as into somewhere is through. Have the last line be stay sexy. Jake. One more round, then fade to black. Hey, banana cloud, we cover the news. So preview or review, whatever it was, we brought it to you. Make your way to the great egress, as into somewhere is through. Have the last line be stay sexy. Stay sexy. Stay sexy. Stay sexy. Raise your glass to a glitching stream. Chat on fire and a broken dream. your truth. You talk too loud about what you were told, but you can't buy care. Jake, tell me true. What are they building? Who is this for? Into somewhere, into somewhere. Say the name, say it clear. Into somewhere, into somewhere. We can see the damage here. Higher prices, lower heart. Every week they pull apart. Into somewhere, into somewhere. Jake, we're calling it out. Into somewhere. Back to the ring. Into somewhere. Let the wrestlers bring the thing. Into somewhere.
We live! How the hell are we, folks? It's Jake, aka Countdown Ended, bringing you the Saturday night's main event review. Better late than never. I apologize. We had more just internet issues left and right. They at Comcast do not like us. Frontier's upgrading the line, so it's not Raw. It was Saturday night's main event. And of course, as always, I'm not alone. I've got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Cody Onidi 316.
Give me a hell yeah!
He's in the house.
Ladies
What's
and
going on, buddy?
So I have a question with this. You call it Saturday night's main event.
Yes.
I think it's Saturday night's mid card, Jake.
Pretty
You
much.
have to get it right.
Oh, they bait and switched those poor paying customers, did they not? That was quite the soul match, huh? Took the soul right out of my
God.
body. Cody's going to AEW Double or Nothing tonight. We've got
Yes, sir.
that to look forward to as well. He's going to be our man on the inside, letting us know what happens. Does MJF lose his hair? Does Darby retain? We got to know. Got to see. Saturday night's main event was just that. It wasn't a great show. We've got some news as well to get through. Pico was right with the Penta win. I was very disappointed, especially after hearing all of the news lately over the weekend about how high they are on Ethan Page. So,
And people are defending it, saying, "Oh, they just want to save it for a bigger event." Let me tell you this: I hate that whole narrative. Oh, you have to save it for a WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. You want to know why? When the moment is in front of you, do it, because we've seen injuries way too often in this business where you have to push back things. Look at the Judgment Day, for example. You want to
You
do
nailed
one
that.
story, then someone gets hurt, and then you have to hold off on everything, and then you forget about it by the time they come back. So you need to stop with this. Let's wait off on this narrative. And
yeah, let's
actually
hold
do it in
on
the
to
moment.
it. Exactly.
When
That was
you
one of my
have it
favorite
in front
things.
of you, do it.
Do it. I loved about the Attitude Era was the do it now. Fuck it. We're doing it live. You know, that was their forever intention. And no, we're nut free.
How many times, Jake,
here,
have we seen the
Pico.
last few years where we have to wait on something just because we can have it on this stage instead of that stage, and then someone gets hurt, and then plans change?
So
How
many
often
times.
do we see
that?
it?
That was one of my main complaints about everybody booking Obafemi, not yourself, but you know, everybody's like, oh, well, they'll do it at SummerSlam or Mania. It's like, why do we have to wait? Why do we have to wait that long? Why do we have to wait at all? Why can't you just put the belt on somebody? Why can't I understand letting some things build, but when you give it a week to build to the show, literally a week. Lesnar returned last week after 4 weeks of retirement to build the Clash in Italy in a week's time.
Yep,
Had
that
they
is
done
happening.
the angle last night with Sol and Becky, and I want to give Becky her flowers too in a minute, but had they done that, but had more matches on the card, at least one more, wouldn't have been so bad. But when you know this is what I'm getting, I'm not getting promos, I'm not getting pyro, I'm not getting all these things. There's no like in between stuff. I'm getting 5 matches in about 2 hours.
Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. And Pico wants to know about my hair on my nuts. Thank you very much, Pico.
That's what I said. We don't
I'm
grow it
glad
around
that you're
here.
so observant.
I told you we're a nut hair free community at this point. Ask my wife. That's a mandatory. So as the fan pops up in the background, I'm too lazy for the green screen at this point. I sound like my old boss, but I'm looking through people being bitter and
Who?
Kevin Nash. Exactly. What?
That's your old boss?
Kevin Nash. He is, and he's a
Wow.
prick. He's nasty on podcasting, and not in a good kind of nasty. That prick kind of nasty. That kind of nasty. So he usually criticizes everything. People are like, oh, you just don't like what he has to say because he's spouting the truth. No, he's being an asshole, and he sounds like he's stuck in the still same click, hug box mentality where, oh, F everybody else, and it's only the boys. And basically, the main importance of what Nash brought up, though, is on his podcast, he explains that someone that he speaks to, without naming, did indeed take a 50% pay cut, making huge money, now down 50% of their paycheck to keep their job. And this is happening left, right, and center. And then they're not even offering to restructure deals because now
Really?
they're adding in house show times, and they don't want to restructure in deals.
That's insane.
So
Who could you think be
we're
like
paying
that
you less because
WWE?
you're working less. Then we're going to make you
Forever.
work more without paying you the difference of working more.
I'm trying to think of who would do that. Would an
I
LA
know.
Knight do that, or is he do you think he's a WWE loyalist,
He
or would he?
knows
Down
he's stuck. He's so close to 50 compared to 40 in the sense of how they look at it there. A lot of wrestlers wrestle into their goddamn 60s at times and have a great, look at like what PCO's doing and others. Like LA Knight, I feel like they're never going to give him that chance because they're always going to have an excuse now. He's too old, or he's not over enough, or they've missed that mark, that boat, that chance. He should have beaten so many people along the way.
Are they doing it with top stars too, like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan? Are they doing it with
Yes,
them too?
apparently they did some restructuring with Roman, allegedly. I mean, he was
I could
getting
definitely
an
see
insane
Rhea
amount
and
of
Liv
money.
doing it. No offense to them, but
Yeah.
I could definitely see them. They seem like those kind of people that would.
But you're also
They
kind of
could
stuck too,
just-
because it's like, all right, I can maybe wrestle for TNA. I can grind on the independents, and you can make a lot of money on the indies, no doubt. But you're really busting your ass. You look at what they're doing WrestleMania weekend, and you had a lot of the talent, like a Shotzi, like a Priscilla Kelly, wrestling 7, 8, 10 matches. It's a lot, It sucks. Yeah, you're making good money, but then you're also having to do all the cons, all the meet and greets, all the glitz and glamour is gone. Or you hope
and
AEW.
Roman Reigns would never go to AEW.
I never say never. As much as I'd like to say
He
never,
could.
he would probably go to
Because
Hollywood.
Edge went there, and you would think
Edge would never. I thought Edge
He
was
would
done
be-
at that point. Yeah, because Edge chose to retire in WWE, like with the him and Sheamus thing at the end there that Spaz was there for. It's they did the whole thing in Toronto, and now they want to bring in more celebrities.
before we get to the review real quick, I want to just give you some names. Who do you see like top stars now that would go to potentially see it, or you don't see it? Like, do you see
Ooh.
Cody Rhodes ever returning there?
No, I wouldn't see
Rhea
him
Ripley.
going back. Rhea, no. I think if Rhea got let go, or if she,
Didn't
didn't continue, she'd be
agreed.
done.
Seth Rollins?
Possibly. I could see him going there and doing a 6-month kind of thing or something, like just to say,
With Morgan,
yes, I could see her doing it.
you see her going?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because she could be another Mercedes there. She's not.
it's true. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because I think Tony Khan would, because she's a big name. Tony Khan would just
Huge name.
Love it.
And yeah.
Becky Lynch.
No. Because of this. Well, maybe because of the Seth thing. Like, Becky, I feel like, is already 1 foot out the door. Like, she wants to give some of her best right now. And that's why I said I wanted to give her flowers, because she knew Sol had 90 seconds of a match before they got DQ'd, which was a disaster. And what did Becky do? She said, I'm going to make this the Sol showcase. She let Sol do everything for that 2-minute span. Every flip, dive, Becky sold her ass off like an octopus in a washing machine. She was flopping all over. And
people call her Becky Hogan, but I think Becky wants to put over people.
Yeah, she likes to elevate people, to work with people, to make them bigger. Like, you can't blame her because is she politicking in the back? God knows, but I really don't see that. I don't think that genuinely.
Because she sells her ass off for anyone. Like,
she works her ass off. She's good on the mic, and it's not just us saying it. It's ESPN,
Becky's been awesome.
Sports Illustrated, it's even Solomonster, right? It's everybody. And now they want to bring in more stars like Caitlin Clark, like Sophie Cunningham, from everybody's favorite WNBA. That was a little weird. All right, let's try it again. Everybody's favorite from the WNBA. This is a press conference about the women's stars tagging against the Bellas. Where is everybody? The janitor's booing, but he's the only one here. All right, Mr. Janitor, what's your question? He wants to know why the hell they're having the Bellas wrestle 2 WNBA stars, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, coming into a wrestling match. First off, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but Pico's right. I'd rather go to the DMV than watch the WNBA. And if you're looking to be misogynist, you got nothing to look at. If you're looking to be athletic, yes, they're athletic, but it's tall, lanky. It doesn't fit the wrestling body motif for what they do. We've seen stars come from elsewhere, but if you really think about it,
well, I don't mind women's
Dennis
basketball.
Rodman worked. I'm trying to think of like successful basketball stars. Brittany Gaynor is actually going to be taking on Otis, or Griner, whatever the hell you say her name, Miss Weed Pen.
Oh, really?
I messed up that joke, but yeah, Nikki Bella challenging Caitlin Clark and Sophie there, Cunningham is. I get it, it's females, but there's no other top female athletes that you could challenge instead of the WNBA.
Right.
You know what I would be doing? I would be pushing like a motherfucker for the ultimate women's tag match right now. Call me crazy. I bet you it would do blockbusters. One night only. I don't even you could do Judgment Day. You could, whoever the hell you want. The Bellas, preferably not. But I would have capitalized on this. I would have had Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano tag against Liv Morgan and Raquel, or who the fuck ever. Oh, they killed each other, but now they got to work together in their tag match. And Gina's an athlete. Ronda's been there before. If you take them to the Performance Center, rehearse the match, and do what you did for WrestleMania 34 all over again, like with Kurt, they just work the match out and do it like a Performance Center match.
Well, 3 out of the 4 there would know what they're doing for the most part.
Yeah, no doubt. But
well, Ronda, does she know what she's doing? She was.
I don't know. She at least was able to fake it as she made it. I mean, her debut was incredible.
Brought this up when that debate was going on, when Ronda said that she, without her, women wouldn't be where they are today, and everyone crashed out and said that's not true. Do you agree with her that she helped elevate the women's division and change it?
Absolutely. What a question from you again, my friend. My God, I'm going to miss you tonight. So they went ahead and they had many press conferences. And the one thing that I wanted to note is Ronda's old coach. Her mom didn't want her in MMA. She was in judo, and she was very, just done with life, depressed, and not wanting to be here. So when she transitioned into MMA, she saw this team, coach, everything that she wanted, but it was, transitioning from judo to this, and none of the guys would work with her. None of the guys would train her. She worked out in that gym for like 4 to 6 months without being acknowledged once. Then Gina Carano makes a couple of fights and makes $200,000 off of one. And her coach goes, I guess you can make a little bit of money off of this, and starts working with her, and she becomes the arm collector. There was really no spot to a massive degree for women's sport at all. You had Dana laughing in the face, of reporters and TMZ saying, I'll never have female fights. That's ridiculous and boring and against combat sports. And, he just came out with it. So it's something. And, I
agree with you.
She did make an impact. Was she the only one? No. Gina kind of opened the door, but Ronda became a household name.
She helped make impacts in both in the MMA world and wrestling world, like for the woman, and like that's just a fact. Ronda, but Gina, also like started MMA for the woman.
I wish we could play the video here. But Johnny, how do you say, Manziel, he went ahead and TKO'd Bob Menery in round 1 of his debut and just got this great kick and knocked his ass out. It looks, just lightning quick, comes in out of the corner, ready to go, and gets a couple of big kicks in, some knees, and that's it. You're done for. You ground and pound. They calling it. Woof. Terrible fight, but he won. I'll give you that. Both guys looked green, but still fun to see. A good debut. With the internet last night, as we step into the $10 billion studio, I went ahead and, I felt very bad. We couldn't do the review, and our buddy Coot said, it's probably the Connecticut version of a kangaroo, which is just a gigantic new rat that shows up at your door. And funny enough, he's not wrong at all, because, this is the motherfucker that's been chewing the wires. It's that big bastard. We even got a live quote from the rat. The rat said, I just wanted to do hood rat shit with my friends. So.
Wow.
Fucking, I don't know what's up with that, but goddamn hood rats. Yep. I'm telling you. Saturday night's main event was a disappointment across the board, and we came in with very tempered expectations. We'll nail the review in a minute. Before you got to go, I want some immediate thoughts, but AEW tonight, I am excited for. It's not the most spectacular double or nothing card they ever had, but Darby against MJF.
No, there's been better.
Yeah, FTR against, Cope and Cage. I Quit, New York Street Fight. Okada and Takeshita is going to be fantastic, I'm sure. And then you got Moxley and O'Reilly in a no time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship. No time limit match. And then they added another match to the pre-show. So you've got 4 matches, I believe, on the pre-show now. You got the Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, Big Boom AJ, boom, and QT Marshall versus Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Carly Bravo, Sean Dean, Anthony Ogogo. I didn't even know he was still there. Remember when Cody Rhodes tried to solve racism with Ogogo?
Yeah.
We got the World Women's Tag Team Champions Mega Bane and Lena Cross taking on Zeta Steel and Viva Van in a 5-minute championship eliminator. And then we got Hook, Bowens, Shibata taking on Wheeler Yuta, Claudio, and Daniel Garcia from the Death Bitches. Mick Foley and Renee Paquette will co-host the pre-show that starts at 6 Central.
Real quick, before we get into Mick Foley there, remember with Claudio, like how AEW fans are like, how can you not capitalize on a superstar like Claudio Castagnoli? He's one of the most talented wrestlers in the world, but when AEW can't capitalize on it, they stay quiet.
Yeah. You figure, Hook versus Omos. Now we're talking Hook, the whole Hookhausen thing, the all of it. We're in the open Discord as well. If you want to come chat and join us, please feel free to do so. Yeah, before we get claimed by that evil asshole Jake DeMarco again.
What do you think about Mick Foley, though, being AEW.
It's got to be for a paycheck, really. And I mean, is he that much of an anti-WWE guy at this point where he's like, fuck you, I need to...
You know, because he left WWE because of who TKO was loyal to and an administration TKO was loyal to, but the business he's in now, the Khan family made donations to that same person.
No way.
Just saying.
What? Yeah,
So,
it's all hypocritical bullshit, and that's been my point. And I like how they have the "You Are Uncursed" New York Knicks merch going out right now. It says Danhausen X,
I
crossover
thought he
Knicks.
uncursed the Mets. That didn't work.
It didn't work. He didn't actually do it because he hates the Miz in Cleveland, so he had to make sure the Cavs were done for. He said the curse lives on 3-0 Hausen, and you got the Miz freaking out with his Cleveland jersey on. He's like, it's starting to not be fun over here, and so I like the rivalry playing in real life, but their reactions went super viral. So Danhausen is getting swept up into the general populace. There's now TikTok memes and all sorts of like people not in the wrestling sphere doing stuff with the "you were cursed" and just like the "yes" and "you can't see me," and it's got a chance. The guy is moving merch. He is getting serious
Because the Daniel
reactions.
Bryan and the Daniel Bryan yes movement, I remember, went global too, right? Not just wrestling.
But the thing about that Daniel Bryan stuff, like people just like doing yes, like it was the movement, and it was "you can't see me" was more in line, like you had to know it was Cena, but doing yes was just like we won, or I'm pregnant, or it's not herpes, like there's got to be something to it. With this, it's just like, so you are cursed. What the fuck you mean I'm cursed? And Danhausen, he curses people. Very nice, very evil. Like I feel like it has a bigger chance of becoming something more than what we've seen previously. And the shirts are great. And
CM Punk was telling WWE this, like, trust me, like this guy
ages
is
ago,
good.
he was going after them, telling them like, you guys need to get this on the ball as soon as they could. They did. I mean, there he is. He's in the game. You've got what's his name here? Brian Ems, whatever. He covers basketball and all of that. But literally, like, now his coverage has gone from basketball all the way to Danhausen ball, The Knicks are 10-0 since Danhausen reversed the curse, and 3-0 since he went to game 1 of the ECF. We let him know that the curse is real, and Mike the Miz is in shambles. Like, this is cool to see a wider populace than wrestling fans grab onto these things. And it must make Danhausen feel amazing. He's so talented. He's very, very funny, very kind, very sweet. And the guy has worked his ass off to become something. And I'm really happy to see, it's really going to happen. Even Logan Paul spent $10K on his home team and lost that bet. And Danhausen goes, is this a Mike the Miz burner account? Just funny, simple stuff, but it works. And, I'm not one to judge anyone by like outward appearance or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm a gigantic, slobbering, fat ass, missing teeth, a brain, and some hair. But they had a sicko contest last night before Dynamite to find out who is the biggest AEW sicko.
Oh, Jesus.
And this is the individual she won. So
I can only guess what they look like.
I am genuinely not being mean.
Hey.
They had a sicko contest. So
Beggars can't be choosers, Cody.
this is the individual that
I'm
won.
not
No, you got to get the
surprised.
stockings
No,
and the
that
shoes
was
to
literally
match.
in my head before you showed me that. That was like, it looks like Pico. Wow.
No, Pico would wear better stockings and his gun wouldn't be sticking out like that. He's got fashion
Fishnet.
sense. All right. Pico's
Fishnet.
never disappointed me in a dress like that. Mm-mm.
Fishnets.
That
That's
was
the
a
key.
dress. It just ripped down the middle. Like I said, I'm a big ass. I just don't go out of the house with my stomach showing because it's gigantic, like.
Yeah.
But it really was they didn't
Oh
call
yeah,
it
Pico wouldn't have
sicko.
stopped to take a picture. He would have been asking all the dudes in the front about their all ball heritage.
Well, no, he'd be like, oh, I thought you were going to say, like, can I get your number? I wanted to take you out for pizza.
Just don't get mugged tonight, Cody. Don't get mugged tonight.
Oh,
You got to be
Thanks,
careful,
Piggy.
Cody. If anybody asks you to fill their cup, run.
Yeah.
Because then they'll
When can
fill
Danhausen
yours.
take the curse off the Mets?
I thought.
that's
Yeah.
why.
but the great American
They're both
original.
orange and blue. He has to think of it that way. They're both New York teams, both orange and blue. Let's get some.
Cool.
going.
I don't know if you were here before. We were talking about the gigantic rat that ate the wires that killed our internet, but you were absolutely right. Doing hood rat shit here. Casey, what's going on? See, they don't know that the wrestling's making us listen to housing music while we drink. That's why he's got the face paint on. So I will still fill your cup anytime. You know, Jake's.
Cody's going to Double or Nothing, and Casey's going to get a McDouble or nothing later.
That's right. And then no pickles. You know, it's got that feel to it. I'm even dying laughing at the Rook memes that they've got coming out, because if you know, you know. I mean, Sleepaway Camp, that's a what a reference.
Kevin Owens needs to lend Mason Rook some shirts
That
and some
fit.
shorts.
Yeah, he needs to get the
And some
XLT. He needs to get the
clothes.
tall, so you're not, seeing that the whole time. You need no
Because
skin.
ever since Big E, when Big E came out and he was smuggling grapes in that
Yes.
too small outfit, yeah, Mason Rook needs to get, he needs a wardrobe change of some sort. And
He needs,
'cause
a refresh desperately. I will admit.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. I'm not trying to be like body shaming guy.
No, I said it after Tuesday's review. I'm like, he needs to go to Casual Mail and get some XLT. He needs a tall, not just the wide, because his stomach was hanging out and it doesn't look competitive or believable. You look like the Rosie meme, not.
He looks like a
you're killing
roadie
it.
for the Indigo Girls or something,
Yeah, exactly. Veruca Salt, you really got to go back for that one.
They were straight, but maybe Melissa Etheridge or something.
Oh, you're talking about barefoot at backpacking.
He screams like the L word.
Yeah. Hey, they could be yelling it louder, but I'm still stuck on that AEW sicko. That sicko contest really got to me. I don't know.
Are you surprised they look like that though?
No. I was just surprised that they were so willing to have a who looks the best contest.
Ring rats of the '80s were something to behold. Should have seen.
They
those.
were. Now it's turned into ring gorillas, and it's just not the same. It's not the same. Poor Sol Ruca. She said that after the botched Soul Snatcher, Triple H called her, said, "Don't worry about it, but don't go on social media." This poor girl has just not had a great main roster, call up since. And people are like, "Oh, she lost already." It's okay to lose with how they did it, who she faced. She faced the women's champ. She faced EO. All right. But, we've had several major botches, the losses, and now this. You're not exactly burning the house down. The WWE assumes that people, they love Soul, and a small fraction might, but not everybody knows her. Not everybody's behind her. You have to refresh things and let people build and get to it. And instead, they're just assuming they know her from NXT. We don't really need to add anything to it. So they're not giving the showcase times. They're not allowing her to fly, and then we get these high pressure scenarios and we get the botches and it doesn't look good. Now, Jessica Carr was in the very, very, very wrong place, and it wasn't supposed to look pretty. You're doing it against a referee that 98% of the audience does not know wrestles. So I'm fine with how it transpired, but still, it's the point.
She needs to get rid of the Soul Snatcher.
She's
I think
landed
it's
it
a little
more than
too-
missed it. She's just got to pick her spots better, I think.
I just think it's too choreographed, regardless of the botch or not. I think you have to be.
There's ways you can do it without having people stand there.
Oblivion.
Yeah, like they're waiting for the Canadian Destroyer and they're hunched over. They're facing the turnbuckle. There's ways to avoid it and set it up so it looks more natural. Depends on who you're
Just let
wrestling.
her do
I
the
think it's
twist
one
of
of those
fate.
things. Yeah, they should. Well, not even off the top rope. Give her some different actual finisher and have that be like the Oh, she pulled it out for the big moment, like when Seth used to do the whatever Falcon arrow twisting cinema bob off the corner. I forget the name of it. It's too early and I haven't finished my coffee. But yeah, I just I don't know. I want more for Sol, and with all the call-ups, she was one that felt like a sure thing. Then we have the Ethan Page loss, and get into the full thing really quick. Danhausen signed with Adventure Media. They're going to grow his intellectual property. That's right, grow it bigger. They're putting him in films, TV shows, and more. So as much as it's very nice and very evil, it makes me worry that he's going to be too busy to even be on WWE at some point. He'll be the guy everywhere but in wrestling to promote wrestling. And I really hope that's not the case.
Very Disney.
Absolutely. Then who is talking now? It's one of these ads. Tatum Paxley basically said that
I think that was Casey, I believe.
there we go. My ad was playing too, so I got half an ear. Casey, there we go. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. I was just gonna say, do you think TKO is gonna get a piece of that pie with what Danhausen's doing?
Absolutely. They, I'm sure, have it baked into his contract with his lawyers that if they're not getting a direct like stipend and making his wallet very heavy, very fat, they're gonna pluck it out of there. I totally
All right,
agree.
Jake,
Coop.
I have to get going.
Was that pun on purpose, Jake? Because he mentioned pie and then you said baked, and I was like,
Look at that.
Did you
Just
do that on
perfect
purpose?
timing. I did,
Okay.
but it's double or nothing day. We're about to be interrupted.
Yeah, that's
Cody,
a good thing, you stupid
Cody,
son
look
of a
out,
bitch.
chime it in,
We
bud.
had everything
I wanted to get
we
your
needed.
score.
It all ran like
Get you out of here.
clockwork.
Oh, yeah.
You could have shut your mouth and made
I'm
as
gonna
much
give you
money as you ever
A 4 out
needed.
of 10 for Saturday
It's
night's
double
main
or
event.
nothing
A
day.
4 out of 10.
Double or
Let's go.
nothing day. Let's go. Thank you so much, Liz. Everybody go ahead and check out DJ Anime 2016 on Twitch and on YouTube, putting out amazing shorts from all her live gameplay series over on Twitch. Ton of fun. Head over there, give her a follow. Thank you so very, very much. I can't say that enough. And yeah, a 4 out of 10 feels right because it wasn't a total disaster by any means, but most of it was a letdown when we already had very tempered mid-card expectations.
I personally gave it a 3 out of 10. I think obviously the best match was the Penta match. And I was so shocked that it wasn't the main event.
I know. And I think they didn't want to put it as the main event.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. They didn't want to have people think that the title change was coming,
Fuck
I
you.
think. So
Do that.
Yeah,
though.
so 4 out of 10 for Saturday night's main event. Now I have to get my ass out of here.
yes, sir.
All right, go.
And stay dry best you can. Now I'm no longer jealous about going because you're going to get,
Take care of the farm, Jake.
yeah, you're going to get just drenched. We're here, chasing the pigs, but
his
we'll be good.
girlfriend won't, though.
No, that's for sure. Poor Cody.
Yeah, Speaking of dry,
he's going to get raped. I mean, I'm worried, but could be bad. Could be bad. Ludwig
molested.
Kaiser apparently not worried at all with the footage from the elevator and the way that the man that he allegedly assaulted had interacted, spoke to, and threatened allegedly his girlfriend. Apparently they were just being intimate. The guy said that they were aggressively kissing, and then he proceeded to call her a bunch of racial things and get into their face and eventually got laid out for it. So mind your business. But really cool to see that he's all right.
aggressively kissing, you mean making out in the elevator? I mean, I never heard
Adults
of
at like, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. I forget the exact time, but it's late. And they're riding to the room and they're kissing. Oh no. I could see if they're having sex and you have kids in the elevator and you're like, come on, let me join, or, let the kid hold the camera, something, but no.
she saw his El Grande.
Yeah, sloppy El Grande. And Ethan Page, the Raw extraordinaire himself, is extremely respectful, detail-oriented, and loved behind the scenes. Ahead of his IC match, they put out this article yesterday saying how just he has gone above and beyond to ingratiate everybody, and everybody loves him backstage. He is just a sponge, soaks up knowledge, very respectful, very helpful, and very dedicated. So then why the fuck did we not give him the belt, you sons of... I don't get it. And I don't want to be
Too
told...
early, and there was no backstory. There's no storyline. There's no...
You didn't need it. Just give him the
Rushed.
belt. Let Penta do
It'll
something
happen
else.
next
I
time.
know, it's not the worst thing, and it will happen in time, but... And the way they had the
Probably
outcome, it covers it, but...
Triple threat with Javon probably coming.
Wouldn't be the
Ooh, that'd
worst,
be-
certainly.
That'd be
And
good.
you can see here in my lovely $10 billion studio, this clip is forever going to live rent-free from the ending of last night. I mean, he's so fast, books around the side and Braun Breaker at breakneck speed. I mean, this is a thing of beauty. Comes around, rushes, pushes the cameraman out of the way. Great shot. Comes around the corner, and then Montez leapfrogs his ass. Perfect timing for him to then get pounced by Dawkins up over the entire announce table. You could tell they're already ready for the spot because they're out of the way. And he almost hitting the wall, like a little bit higher. He's going into the front row. You can see it. Like Brock Lesnar guy almost ate, Breaker
Hurt
and his
again,
lunch.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe hurt again.
Mm-hmm. But
Again.
look at that. That is a brutal landing, and he managed to come back afterwards and whoop some ass, but hopefully he is okay. That was an incredible spot, though. I mean,
Yeah.
just wow.
That would suck to have the future of your company, get taken out by the genetic of a tag team,
Yeah, get hurt again. Exactly. Not what we want. I think I've been waiting to finish The Boys. I've not seen this season yet, especially with all the hospital stuff and extra surgeries and Danny's surgery. So I'm like, oh, when it releases, I'll watch it all at once. And I avoided spoilers the best I could. I need to. I avoided so many spoilers. And then somebody posted the ending of the show, but they replaced it with like Roman with AI. So it's not hard to swap out Homelander with Roman Reigns, and I'm like, all right. It was at a WWE subreddit too. I should clip them
Jake?
for fucking it up.
No, you saying that you were ready to finish The Boys.
I was, and you can clip that too. But I was going to finish all The Boys. I wanted to finish them.
Waiting for the release.
What a release. A massive release. A necessary one, if you dare ask me. I don't know. I was the spoiler king at one part, but
I got a
you
question
see,
for you guys.
yes, sir.
With the 3-parter of the Dark Side of the Ring coming up with the TNA, do you think it's going to affect their relationship with WWE?
No. Dark Side has brought up some very precarious, awful, and controversial history segments, and they've managed to hold fast and strong so far. They've talked about everything from Owen to the former Chris B to the finger poke of doom and all the WCW stuff that could have caused it. Like they've gone over murders and the steroid trial. And so if anything, I think if they were going to affect anything at this point, it would have already happened. Plus, yes, they have unfiltered, unrestricted access per se to what they can say. It's their discretion at Vice. But it's also up to what WWE will let them include, if they have to reenact the other footage and stuff. But they don't want to go against WWE and have their lawyers going after them. So they're very good about sticking to the truth. And then if anything's an opinion, they label it as such. They really go above and beyond. But
I'm waiting for the death of Katie Vick to be...
they need an episode for that, because whoever thought that was... really a good idea, because I love dark comedy and humor, and
Mae Young's hand, that could be an hour easily.
that one as a kid too, like I got it. I just didn't understand, like it just wasn't like funny, and I loved slapstick stupid stuff. And I was like, all right, what else are we getting here? She gave birth to a hand. Ha ha ha. Like I was.
That should be on the Most Wanted Treasures. That should be on that show. Their hand.
Could you imagine
that would be
the rubber hand? And here we go.
that. The coconut that Jimmy Snuka got hit with.
Well,
JR, yeah, the JR head up his ass. That one. All kinds
Lovely
of
bunch
stuff.
of coconuts, green one. What we're getting this season is a 3-part episode on Jeff Jarrett and TNA, because essentially it's his company. He started Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, Ray Trailer, and the Big Boss Man, Big Bubba arc. Missy Hyatt gets her own episode. Necro Butcher and Samoa Joe. So that match where everything fell apart and Joe basically tried to kill Butcher. Zach Gowen, the wrong one-legged wrestler, was hired instead of him. We'll find out. That's how he lost his leg, apparently. And then Rick Wilson, a.k.a. WCW's Ultimate Warrior knockoff, the Renegade.
Is that going to be a 20-minute episode? What the hell?
I don't know what they're going to do with that. But Rick Wilson...
They're running out of shit. That's just clearly shows they're running out of shit.
Well, no, because apparently this has been highly requested. He has a very interesting and dark backstory and how he was used, what he was promised. People said, "Oh man, that Rick Wilson episode is going to be a tough watch." I know people hate on the guy when he first showed up in WCW in '95. People thought he was cool. You knew he wasn't the Warrior, but you went with it anyways.
That'd be like a Louis Piccoli episode or Hurt Bar episode, or
that would legitimately be like if they had Danhausen gone for now and you had somebody come back. I'm trying to think of somebody with face paint or a like to that. So you can kind of obscure the face a little bit, but even still, it's just like they did it with how many times the fake Diesel and. So they could have had, a fake Roman and people coming down on it. I get it. But the TNA stuff is very interesting.
Next year they can have a Crash Holly episode and they're kind of running out.
I don't think so. I feel like maybe they've covered a lot of like the most exciting topics, but they haven't gone through everything yet. So there's still a lot of like the Ludwig Borga one was an excellent piece of documentary series, and I had no idea about 3/4 of the shit that happened with him after the fact, and that was more interesting than any of the wrestling he's ever done. That Ludwig shit with him going into politics, but to me, I was like, who the fuck, Ludwig Borga? He was in there for like 3 minutes and a hiccup. How is that going to be an episode? Yeah. But what I'm saying is like, it's such a short career. I'm like, that's going to be a 3-minute episode. And it was my favorite of the entire series last year, last season, I should say, of the entire season.
I don't know what Paul Orndorff did that was dark, but
we'll find out. I'm not changing subjects, but while I have it queued up, getting us back to the $10 billion studio. And I just wanted to point out, like, people are like, is this the 3rd week in a row that Sol botched the snatch? Yeah. But if you look at the angle here, first, she hurts her ankle. So I kind of agree with what everybody was saying before, that they should not retire the move, but save it for like a super finish. When Cody does 3 crossroads, like that kind of idea. I really got to put someone away. It's WrestleMania. It's such a fun move, but and she hits it most times. In NXT, she nailed it 9 times out of 10. Every now and again, look a little sloppy or a little telegraphed, but not to this extent. Car's in the way wrong place. She's supposed to be about 2 body lengths forward. So she doesn't even get to make the rotation because she sees she's out of place. 1, 2, watch Sol's right leg. She misses the rope kind of, and her foot goes like this. Off, so there's a right foot, goes off the rope and snaps, and her ankle bothers her, so that as soon as she hits the ground, she starts rubbing her ankle. So she missed the rope, snapped her foot up, and then Jess wasn't close enough. So the whole thing here, it's so quick, but right here, she misses the rope. See, her right foot went like through the rope, almost like a glitch, and it snaps up like this and bothers her ankle, so that when she doesn't land it, she sees that Jess is way off. So if she does the flip, she's going to come down on her head because Jess is not catching her. So she just does it, and then immediately right here, she starts holding her ankle, and she's not selling in that instance. That's the one that snatched and snagged on the turnbuckle. I watched it back a bunch of times, so you could tell it wasn't intended to happen that way. So it's unfortunate, really, but this news is funny too. I do follow the Hassan stuff, and apparently he's being subpoenaed by federal officials. So he might have broken the law when he was over in Cuba. Oh, that's not good.
Jake, do you think Sol just buckling under the pressure with this? Like every time she's like, "Oh, like I'm going for it," that like she just fails because she's on the main roster now.
A little bit, really, a little bit. And Pico, I love the profile picture, but I didn't get to say that earlier. Yeah, it seems like she's struggling a little bit. The limelight is difficult, and it seems to be capturing her. So we'll see what comes of it. But I enjoy her in-ring ability. Even her mic promos have improved. It's just maybe she needs a little bit more seasoning. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it seems like the pressure's getting to her a little bit.
Well, she better be careful. I mean, WWE's doing those cuts. It's like if she keeps screwing up, she might find her the wrong side of that cut.
Yeah, exactly. And it wouldn't be a disaster to everybody if she gets fired, right? Right. Of course, everybody up in arms. But then they'd pull out stuff like this. Oh, well, look at this. She messed up here and messed up there and whatever. It's just hopefully they'll be able to progress past it and do better. That's really what I want to see, and that's, you know, I wish Penta won. There's a lot. We'll go through it. We haven't really discussed the night in Double, but they're trying to set up Clash in Italy best they can by piggybacking off of what's going on in Saturday night's main event. You know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches announced so far. And, you know, they did well on selling the audience to have some false, you know, hope spots with the Profits almost winning. You know, they had a few moments like that. But in the end, it's just another house show, unfortunately. Most of the matches were good. So we are live May 23rd, last night, 2026 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum on Peacock. That's a mouthful. It's Jake, and this is your IntoSomewhere Saturday night's main event review. They start off right away with the WWE SmackDown side. Women's champ Rhea Ripley coming out with Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa Bliss taking on Jade, Cargill, B-Fab, and Michin in a 6-woman tag team match. This was well wrestled. This was pretty entertaining for the story and what they've gotten so far, to the point where Rhea hits a huge missile dropkick for an awesome "This is awesome" chant. Like, everybody got some really solid moments to shine, even Michin, even B-Fab. Eventually, Jade and Rhea are both tagged in, and now the crowd feels the tension. And they're talking about, you know, Clash coming up in a week. We're getting a rematch that should have been a Backlash because that's the point of Backlash, but we're doing it in Italy. And Rhea gets away from the kick and hits her with a big headbutt. And eventually, you know, you see a bunch of just kicks being thrown, and everybody's out there except for Rhea and Charlotte. And Charlotte offers her hand to Rhea, and just as she's about to accept it, Michin comes and you know, gets involved and stops that from happening. So they go ahead and they hit on B-Fab Michin these big fall away slams, and eventually Rhea and Charlotte, they look at each other, they shake hands, and that's as soon as they meet up, the mega powers handshake kind of. You get Bliss jumping into their arms and they're celebrating, but they took their mind off the prize. And that's when Jade just strikes him in the back, sends the tag team to the outside. Rhea gets the jaded and pinned to win. So Jade looks strong legitimately. She wrestled for quite a while in a 17-minute match. And they really did a good job at making the ladies shine here. They told personal stories between Charlotte, Rhea, and Alexa not being able to coexist. Can they coexist? Can they get along? Can they work together to stop the combined powers of the baddies? Can they not be called bitches?
I am that bitch. You are my bitch.
Of course not, but a very good opening, and I enjoyed this. Casey, Pico, I don't know if you guys enjoyed the opening as much as I did, but for what I was expecting, they gave us less of the jokey BS, will they, won't they? Like, you didn't have Charlotte and Rhea constantly doing the dagger eyes and playing up on the Mean Girl stuff. Like, yeah, they got distracted, but it made sense. It's like, look, we're kicking ass. We're finally doing what Alexa said. When we work together, nothing can stop us. Like that. I liked it. Was it, anything to write home about? Certainly not. But for Saturday night's main event and opening, I thought it was fun. Huh, Mr. Metz? I enjoyed it,
I was sleeping. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you. And Casey, I'm not sure how much you've been into this entire angle, but it doesn't feel like Jade's winning against Rhea next week.
No,
No.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I still think Jade's not fully there either. Like, I mean, her character is good, but I still think she needs a little bit more time in the oven.
Absolutely.
But
She
Casey,
needs
were
just
you fully there when you watched Jade?
I was almost there. I was getting there. And when she hit that jaded, I was about to finish. I was like, oh, the Uger. And then it just, nothing came out. No, you're right, though, because Jade still, she walked in and was just like, I am Jade, I am everything. And then the fans were like, yeah, you're good, but you need a little more seasoning. And WWE was like, no, she's perfect. And she kept fucking up and botching and botching and botching. And the fans were like, see, we can't really let her take the ball and run with it yet. She needs a little more time in the oven, as you said. And instead, they tried to throw her in the microwave for 10 seconds and call it cooked. So
I think she still has future. It's not like I think she's done.
it's still
I think
edible, but would you rather a steak or a TV dinner? And that was kind of the issue for a while.
Wow.
They seasoned her up, they made it better, but it's still a TV dinner. So she
I
needed
haven't had
to
a
be
hungry man in a long time.
See,
Good.
see, now we're talking. And 2
Hungry
pounds of
man dinner.
meat. She really is an exceptional character, though. The look, the way she wrestles, her style, all of it is very standout. I wish they would just give her a bit more depth. She doesn't need to be an Obafemi where she just lays waste to everybody. These bit longer matches where she gets away from the Scott Steiner Goldberg booking and gets into the more in-depth angles serves her better. And I'm kind of surprised that Jade and Charlotte kind of didn't get a bigger reaction when they were teasing it, but we'll see how they manage to clear things up here, because it looks like eventually you're going to have the individual tag of Jade, or excuse me, B-Fab and Michin taking on Charlotte and Alexa. You'll have Rhea beat Jade, and then they'll move on to Fatal Influence. Dun dun.
I noticed one thing. I was kind of distracted during the whole match. Is every time when Charlotte's shorts just kept on dripping down, where you could see her panties. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to look. It just happened to be.
So I caught that as well. There was a point where she gets rolled up. I think it's by Michin, and her entire just underwear is sticking out of her. Like her pants slid down 3/4 of the way. And like you said, it's not like you're trying to be pervy and be like, oh, like her ass is hanging out. It's always Charlotte. always. I mean, the women have wardrobe malfunctions constantly, but Charlotte's nipples like to just jump out of her top. They're like, woo! And then the
That's
rest
what I
of
love
her
about Casey
appears.
His in-depth detail to
He knew.
you know,
He knew the spot.
wrestling, yeah.
I actually was sent it earlier. Do I have it on the docket that I had here? Because it was funny the way that she had basically tried to fix herself while being rolled up. No, but yeah, she's just had so many malfunctions, and she thinks that is the way to
Casey's
get to husband number 4, Coot. You're right, but it's always
Casey's a wrestling
Charlotte.
historian when it comes to panty shots. And
Yeah, she knows.
respect that.
Um,
Like double stick tape, so this stuff doesn't really happen.
yeah, exactly. There's got to be something. I mean,
Gorilla Glue?
something, right?
Staples.
I think it was
Staples.
during the Styles Clash, actually, from Michin. I know Michin, yeah, she was the one responsible, and this is the safe for YouTube shot here, but I've got to go through 15 different scenes to get to the right side. Da, 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 da.
If
Just
they
funny
just
how,
dress
like-
they dressed in Saudi all the time, there'd never be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've made the joke before, but like, as much as I'm a guy, do they always need their asses out? Do they need their holes? You know, come on.
Fabulous Moolah never had her ass out. And look, 28-year champion.
There's something to it. Charlotte, she wore her gear is all gifts from fans, so it's kind of a cool idea. Like,
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That'd be funny if somebody rubbed it with like Icy Hot or something and then gave it to her.
So she
Oh, that's-
fastened everything she got, all the necklaces, all the beads, all the gems, all that stuff into her gear. But wouldn't that hurt to bump on?
And it depends
Yeah,
how rough you like it.
See,
I mean, you've
it looked like. I mean, her gear looked like almost like that color popcorn you would get, like
Yeah.
in a bag.
exactly,
looked
yes,
like.
yeah, because she had the
Colored
stuff
popcorn.
all over her, but it was all the
Casey.
friendship bracelets. And I mean, how cool is it? You sent Laura, Charlotte, a friendship bracelet. Now you see it on her gear. It's a cool thing, but yeah, the women are always trying to appeal to the Gooners. They know that they may not be the largest of the audience, but they got the most funds. They know what's up. It was a good opening match. I give them probably like a 7 for this match. Really, 6.5. It was entertaining. It got the crowd hyped, and it was a long segment in the sense of like it was between the introductions, all that. We're talking like nearly almost 35, 40 minutes. 6 entrances, a 17-minute match, all the hubbub around that. It was very, very entertaining. I'll give them that. As much as this, because this show was just a house show, and you have to come in with tempered expectations. You're not getting promos. You're not getting, the vignettes in the backstage. You're just getting matches. You're getting 5 matches wrestled in front of you as they're called. One of them is an angle. Like when people go in and treat it like it wasn't WrestleMania 17, like, well, no kidding. And it was booked a week before what they're trying to sell. This was the go-home pre-show kickoff to Clash. Everything here was to sell Clash in Italy. The whole point of this was Rhea and Jade. So they had this first match to sell you Rhea and Jade. They had the second match because now we're getting Becky and Sol. They have everything was a push. As where it used to be, maybe they would highlight Clash in Italy, but this show itself wouldn't matter. There would be its own objectives, its own story, its own pacing. That's gone. The moment is to do certain specific things to get you to the next. So when you're in the here and now, you do feel disappointed because you're like, well, we got 5 matches. One was 2 minutes, and then, it was entertaining, but nothing wowed me. And you're like, oh, yeah, because it's all an advertisement for next weekend. Oh.
Well,
And especially,
we got,
yeah.
I'm shocked we got
No Punk. You know, we're not going to have
That's what
him
I would.
until SummerSlam, supposedly. I know. I'm telling you, Casey. Then, as we discussed, semi to death, we get Becky Lynch taking on Sol Ruca. We smelled a farce a mile away. We knew the shit smell when we walked into it because it wasn't a title match. It was announced and advertised as a title match. Then they went ahead and took it away. They done dare fucked us over, folks. So they changed their mind because they were like, oh, we'll do that in Clash. And instead, they then had Becky send out a tweet that said, oh, I never said I would face you, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that works us into the story they gave us. Jessica Carr, I like her being the continual referee. That adds to the lore as well. Becky feels like she keeps getting screwed because she did lose. So she's right about getting screwed, even though it's her fault, you know. And she's like, but she hit you, you know. So I get the argument for argument's sake that Becky has here. She feels justified. But none of that matters when the match looks like this. We had a 2-minute and 25-second DQ when people, myself included, had this as their number one most anticipated match or the thing that they were hyped up for the most. Sol is very exciting. Becky puts on, you know, exciting matches. The two of these women working together really spelled out something. It should have been incredible. And it started off that way because, you know, you had her going 1,000 miles a minute. Sol doesn't stop. She gets, you know, these big springboard flips into a clothesline, into, you know, just big crossbody, big kicks going off the apron. And then she's punching her in the corner. And then eventually Jess pulls her back. And that's when she goes to hit the Soul Snatcher. And Becky throws Jessica into it. And Ruca didn't get all of it. She just didn't quite get all of it. A Becky sucks chant breaks out as the crowd erupts in anger. Don't blame them for being so mad. I mean, everyone's looking forward to this and it's over. I wish they went longer than did the DQ. Why not even have like a 5-minute match? And you can't say you couldn't fit it because you're not on regular TV. You're on Peacock. You don't have a time limit.
Finish in 5 minutes sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I can finish in 90 seconds or 7 seconds, but sometimes you need a good 5 minutes. And this wasn't it.
There's no commercials right in the middle of the matches. So, I'm wondering maybe from the previous match going 17 minutes, do you think they had to cut that down because of that?
No. I had wondered that myself, but no, it was always the intended plan to do it this way. They wanted to build to Clash in Italy. So it wasn't a time crunch. It wasn't a time sink. It wasn't any adjustments. They had planned to have Sol look strong briefly, go on a tear, and then get DQ'd, and, you know, the whole ending to build up for Clash in Italy. And that's what's upsetting. Like, give us the match. Would it really have mattered if Sol won fairly and then gets to go face her? Or, you know, there's so many ways they could have made this transpire. And instead, the Soul Snatcher was way off, yeah, but it shouldn't have looked good. She could say, well, I stopped midair because I didn't want to hit Jess and I was already coming down. Like, there's ways to save the botches, but you can't save the creative botch, if that makes sense. The
Paul bomb.
Yeah. Give me the Logan bomb.
I picked Soul to win that match too, so I was like, hey, she needs to win. Becky doesn't need to win, and plus it's not, the title's not on the line, so I was like, let Soul win this one.
Exactly.
But
I was hoping for more, but
I was disappointed.
I was too. I appreciate Cody being there. He's got a long bit of travel, but he's going to try and send us as much behind-the-scenes info from AEW Double or Nothing tonight. We'll be live with the review of that as well. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and hang out with us. You know,
are we doing predictions for that?
Well, we are going to go through at the end here. Yes. We've got Penta and Ethan Paige. Boy, oh boy, this was a good match. Very good match. The crowd very, very receptive for Penta. And no, it's not the worst thing that Ethan didn't win here, but it was very disappointing. I thought this should have been the main event, especially with how they ended the night with the Street Profits. And it's not, oh, you didn't get your way, so you're upset. I feel like Ethan Page has a world of opportunities ahead of him, and Penta's kind of pigeonholed into this right now. Like, where does he go from here? He could face Javon, or he could face Rusev, or he could do another thing with Ethan. Like, it's getting to be as where, refresh things. Ethan's a champ. You got a whole new batch of competitors. Penta did the entire, take on every challenger. He did it at Mania. He's done it. He's had a strong title run so far. Is it memorable? Not entirely, but it is good. I'm a huge proponent and fan of Paige. Good old Egon. He knows what's up, indeed, Nate. And the ending was incredible. I'll give you that much. I'm never crazy about the Mexican Destroyer, but the way that he did this, they really gave a lot to Penta here. Penta hits the exposed turnbuckle and still manages to kick out. The referee, you could say, took a bit longer to make the pinfall count, but Penta avoids losing, gets out of it, and as soon as he stands, he comes off the rope sideways, basically, to hit a springboard Mexican Destroyer, but it's such an odd angle, and it looked very ingenuitive and creative and like a way to refresh the finisher. So Paige looks great in defeat. They're going to run it back. It's just, I wish they could have capitalized more on, oh, look, Paige would have won, but, like that kind of thing, where his ego gets the best of him. Because really, if he just wrestled, he would have had it. And Equisition said the main event sounded fun. Can't wait for Seth to get more involved in the storyline now. Yeah, because you figure Seth would have been out there since they kind of did the whole reconciliation, we help you, you help us kind of thing, but they're really trying to hammer home you can't do it alone. So this was a fun match. Yeah.
So I was thinking about this when the whole thing with the turnbuckle pad, like, it bothers me when the referee pulls it away from him and then he feels like he has to put it back together, like, during the match. I'm like, why couldn't he just hand it to, like, a stagehand so he can focus on the match? Like, why does he has to do it?
Yeah, so that's kind of like the age-old wrestling trope. He's distracted, so this way. But they didn't do anything with the distraction really at that point. It just, there wasn't more cheating that got Paige the victory. There wasn't more anything. And I don't know. It's a typical trope, really. And
Exactly.
it's been done to death. I feel like they could have been more creative about it, but it's tried and true. It's one of those, oh, don't break what's not broken kind of things. So I don't hate it. Wrestling has a lot of those, oh, the distraction, oh, this and that and this and that. But it's not, I don't know. I that's why I feel like they're not writing with AI, because AI would have given you like some crazy, stupendous thing of, oh my God, and then somebody fell off the top of the roof and, like that kind of stuff. You would get something so outlandishly dramatic and crazed. And you see it more often than not with AI going nuts. So we talked about it yesterday. Couldn't even say WWE without spazzing out. It was you're just going nuts. So made me certainly laugh my ass off. I don't know what to give this match. It's like a 7, so it's really good. For Clash winners, Nate's saying Rhea, Sol, Ethan Page, and Egon, and Brock, and then Roman. Yeah, we were talking about the Lesnar thing, but with Clash in Italy, then going into Night of Champions, that's kind of the only way I see it working, because 1, 2, 3, Mania, Clash, Night of Champions, and that leaves Brock open to do whatever in Minnesota at SummerSlam. I would have preferred him to stay retired, but hey. Yeah, this is definitely a 7.5 match in the third spot. A good way to get the audience going more, but I would have preferred the title change and have that be the main event, just being honest. Then we get the Bella and knockoff anti-Bella, Paige and Brie, Scream for Me, because I don't want to watch it, taking on the Irresistible Forces. Knowing the outcome, knowing what happens here, knowing that it's only an 8-minute, 30-second match, it still killed me to sit through this because boy, oh boy, was Brie exceptionally awful in this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
She should stay at home.
She missed the drop kick and drop kicked the air entirely. Like, she wasn't like late. She was pregnant. She was so late with this one. With triplets. It was embarrassing. Like, at that point, why go through with the move? You've already seen them execute, 3/4 of it. It's just like, so the idea is for Paige and Brie to do a double drop kick on Lash, but Paige hits it and then Brie shows up about a minute and a half later to kick the air. And this sets the tone for this match. It just continues. The best thing about this match was the Kennedy from the sky, old school Saturday Night's main event microphone lowered from above. Besides that, that was the only little bit of nostalgia pop that I got. I don't want to sound 100% negative, like, oh, it's the women. I liked women's tag teams. I love women's wrestling. That's not this.
Yeah,
you know it. Yeah. That's right, ladies. But
they should take Brie out of the Hall of Fame for that.
This was bad. And I don't want to sound like I'm only attacking Brie, but what's that, Casey?
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like, you figure if she screws up so much, they'll take her out of the Hall of Fame. I was thinking the same thing.
Casey's, he's just writing WWE, Dear TKO, I cannot support you while Brie Bella is still in the Hall of Fame. Signed, Casey, armed with my AR. Just like standing out there. Is she still in the Hall of Fame? Is she still in the Hall of Fame? Tell me now. I need to know. Is she still in the Hall of Fame? She is, sir. Well,
we know one way for her to get out of the Hall of Fame. She just got to go on a racist tyrant. That's how she.
They didn't even take out Hulk from the Hall of Fame with that, so I don't know. He was
did for like a few years, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, we can have him back."
I mean, maybe because he was recorded in secret, but
I think they should rename the Irresistible Forces to the Resistible Horses. I think that would be the.
All right, you got me with that one. It finally popped. We can get the horses out there. Because Lash goes to splash Brie, and Brie turns the wrong way and lands crooked. And I don't know how she didn't break her hip with this one. Like, and then they're like, why didn't Lash not go for the pin? Because you could tell the move landed wrong. So I think she was supposed to pin her, but the finish in that moment was, the conclusion of the moment was so bad and so piss poorly executed that she just didn't even go for the cover. She just went and tagged in Nia. And then they hit all their finishers. And then Paige comes in to save the day briefly, hitting more drop kicks and crashing into everybody. And Paige hits a great sunset flip. And then Brie goes to use her legs to add leverage while Paige pins Jax. But it looks like she's humping the air. I don't see how she was helpful at all with this forgettable, embarrassing, and non-entertaining match. So now we've had the squash for 2 minutes, and then we get this in 8 minutes. And the crowd was just silent. And they were hot all night for the right things. This is awesome chants. And they cared for the men's tag, the IC match, and they got into the initial women's 6-woman tag, and then the end of that match. They kind of got quiet in the middle there, but
Maybe that's why this was saved for Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know,
it seems like it. And again, it's a glorified house show. But this match should have specifically been on a Raw or SmackDown. This was not premium live event worthy. You're still paying for Peacock. Whether it's included in your thing or not, you gotta cough up for the cock. It's expensive. And to have such a forgettable and embarrassing match, I mean, I sound so cliche complaining about the same thing everybody else does, but those stupid fucking yes kicks that she hits with her husband not allowed to be mentioned in the company, so you can't even make the reference to anything. And she can't hit them on beat. She can't do it in timing. She knocks people out for real with them. Like, Brie has
her
always
husband's
been
better on commentary
terrible. Oh, yeah.
than she is wrestling.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to bring.
And his
That's what I
brain
was
is
gonna
shot.
bring. I was like, she's married to Bryan Danielson. Like, how is she still this horrible? You figure he would train her properly.
Shouldn't he be watching her? Like, if that was my wife and I'm Brian and I see my wife wrestling like this, I am so embarrassed of like my namesake being brought down because you look bad that not only am I divorcing you, but I'm also going to beat you into a, and then and then you're bleeding, and then I will continue to hold you down while you cry, and then once you tap out, then you'll learn the ways of the dungeon.
And then make out with AJ Lee again in the ring.
I'll call up CM Punk for all his ex's numbers, all right? I'll make you jealous quick, don't you worry.
A bunch.
What a disaster. I mean, like, I get it, Nikki got hurt, so we ended up in a better situation with at least Paige being there, but I feel
Jake.
like one of the internet nerds being like, oh, Brie sucked, but she does. She's terrible. Yes, sir.
Do you notice that within days, I think it's probably maybe within a week or so, that Paige wins a title that Xavier Woods leaves the company or gets fired? Or
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yes. As soon as they didn't want to spend any extra money on decontamination units for those titles,
no more.
they let him go instantly.
Belt cleaning's expensive.
Very expensive. They're like, you can't put a baby wipe on that. Nobody wants that. Yeah, Nikki's returning very soon. She challenged WNBA stars and wants to have a tag match against them. She's real focused on everything in the ring right now.
You should fight Brittany Griner. I would see that. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or is that a intergender match?
It might be. I think it's intergender, but we gotta go ahead and use the TSA scanning machine to know for sure. I love how Logan is saying our tag titles are the smoke and they're not for the Street Profits. And then you see Austin Theory, who must have rehearsed this all night. Like he looked like, is it my turn to say the line now, Dad? In the school play. And he walks up and he's like, they're for us. Like he almost forgot what he was going to say. Just.
He sucks.
That was the best take you have? Come on. If it's live, then that's what you give us? Whew. The Vision and the Street Profits. I like the Fire Logan chants and singing. Joe Hendry has an effect without even being there or mentioned. Fun. This was a well-wrestled match. Also good. Got some This Is Awesome chants, some good sequences. The ending sequence, I loved. They gave a huge hope spot to the Street Profits. You know, you see a gigantic, basically Ford grabs the tag team titles off the podium and he's like, I got this. He already dove to the outside and took out the rest of the Vision. Everybody's down and Braun Breaker runs out, pushes the cameraman out of the way. And Montez leapfrogs him and Dawkins just belays him over the announce table, pounces him way into the frickin' nether regions. And that's when eventually they get a huge frog splash. They got Theory pinned. 1, 2. Paul Heyman puts Austin's foot on the ropes. And that's when, they go after Paul Heyman, and that's when, more of the same. We get Dawkins, he goes to hit Logan with a flip dive, but doesn't happen. Theory gets the 3 count instead. And that's it. Street Profits win. 16-minute, 30-second match. Really good match. Really exciting. Terrific tag team match. This is how the Raw tag team side has been abysmal. This is what we need more of. This is what we need to see. This is how you build. I'm just tired of the vision, unfortunately. I don't care for the group as a whole. I don't care for their motto, their plans, any of it. It just feels nonsensical.
Every faction sucks. Every faction sucks in WWE.
Yes. They're either on their last leg of life support and should have been going on forever. Yeah, Saturday night's main event still on, and then AAA. Rey Mysterio now the new GM, and they are killing it with this El Grande stuff. It's so exciting. They had, again, an amazing brawl, pull apart fight, realistic. After he got arrested, he's down to scrap. It's just like they work so hard to build things, and then they go on Raw. They're not supposed to touch each other. Then they put them in a tag team match on Raw. Way to not follow the story. Judgment Day, the Bloodline, all of it has been going on for years without any advancements, without any changes or frickin' fun. I mean, really, it's been a while. What are we thinking? This main event match is like a 7.5. It was really well wrestled and fun. Not the greatest ever, but really good for a main event, for a house show, for Saturday night's mid event. And the major problem I have with it is now it's like, all right, so now you're done with the Street Profits. You wiped them off the map. I don't care that you cheated, and it's only because you cheated and you had Braun Breaker, and now we need Seth to help. And I see where they're going with the story. I just feel like because now they've been beat X amount of times, I have less interest, desire, and want to see the Street Profits be the tag champs. I barely wanted to see it happen to begin with. Now I'm like, maybe there'll be a better team to take out. I would prefer someone like, Seth Rollins and LA Knight to be new tag champs. Take it from the Vision and go on like a 3-month run. It's a new team. It would be fun. It would give LA Knight something to do. It would keep Seth away from the main title. He could feud with the Vision still. And Braun Breaker, I don't need to see a 6-man tag. And then Bronson Reed comes back, and now they have Logan Paul. And obviously, you've got their whole setup on the Vision, and you're going to get what? Some type of non-Survivor Series War Games match, something 4-on-4. And again, it's just more of Seth with the, I just want to see something definitive happen. I want to see storylines conclude and have them move on rather than things just keep dragging. The breakup, disillusion, and ending of the Vision started all the way back in October, and it's still going on because at Mania he faced Gunther, not Breaker, who was cleared. So that's why Cody was right before. Sometimes you got to act, because trying to hold off on things, injuries happen, and then unfortunately you miss out on it. It was a terrific main event, but just like the storyline implications, they've done nothing with Maxine Dupree. She's been in there, as Kevin brought up, and that didn't happen. Just no advancements. It's just more of the same right now. So there's nothing new. There isn't a new development. There isn't a new addition. It's just, hey, Braun Breaker speared somebody and we retained, So 7.5 in that regards. It is a good way for them to rebuild the tag division and keep doing these types of things. We like it. We appreciate it. But it was Saturday night's mid-event house show extraordinaire. I'll give the show overall. What are we thinking, guys? I'm probably at like a 5, maybe a 6, probably a 5. If you go house show ratings, it's a 6, 6.5 even, because there's some good matches. But as far as like television, This is a 5. The opening women's 6-woman was fun. Becky and Sol was greatly disappointing. Penta and Ethan well wrestled, but just not fully hitting the mark. We've got the women's tag, again, being another disappointment, and then more of the same and no advancement in the story with Division. A good tag match, but just more of the same. A 5 for the show. Feels fair, and that's not to be, like I said, overly critical, but it does line up with the house show effect. And then tonight, gents, well, first off, what are you two thinking? What are your scores for Saturday night's mid-event?
I'd be lying if I said I was awake.
That's a fair assessment. What about you, Casey? What were you thinking?
I gave it 3 out of 10. I was very highly disappointed. I mean, yes, there was some good wrestling, but like there was no title changes, and it was just like if you missed Saturday night's main event, you didn't really. It's like missing SmackDown. You could just move on.
Yeah.
Like,
there's just no
it's not like
consequence to not watching, and that's a problem. You should have to tune in. You should need to know what's going on. I know not every show is going to be a 10 out of 10 extraordinaire, but you should at least get something away from it. And it's not like it's building into today with Clash. It's next week. So doing some of these things when you still have Raw and SmackDown to build as well. Some of these angles could have happened on the weekly shows.
No, I agree. Hey, Jake, I just found out this. You remember WWE was promoting about that? I think it was that $10,000 to cook do pasta with a superstar.
Oh yeah, we had talked about that at length. It's
Is that still?
My God. Yep, it's with Chelsea Green, so you get to go and make pasta and do this meet and greet, and yep, it's happening.
I don't even know if that pasta is like not that good. Like you paid.
Let's see here.
Probably a can of SpaghettiOs.
I wouldn't doubt it. So the updated, it's $11,500. You get reserves. You get official Clash in Italy front row ticket. So that's probably like 4 of the 11 grand. Then reserve seating at Welcome Apervito. You get a wine tasting with a WWE superstar. I believe that's with Chelsea as well. But exclusive backstage experience, private pasta making session with Chelsea Green is the one. Reserve seating at pre-show hospitality, and then a ringside photo op for $11,500 per person.
It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely unnecessary and so egregious. I mean, oh boy, that is well, to me too, like at least you're getting, and it's not worth the value, but it is a experience. Like some people spent this stuff for Mania just to have a small piece of microwavable pizza and the Undertaker walked in for a quick photo, you know, and it's like, cool, you met the dead man, but you spent $12,000. So
No, it would have been different. Say maybe you do like you make your own pizza pie with a superstar. It's like, hey, you put a little bit more work than, hey, I got preheat this pot of water and then
boil pasta. Yeah, exactly. You know, you're not exactly knocking down, you know, the culinary extraordinaire Michelin star chef door making pasta, but to each their own. I mean, look at how much people spent just to sit in the podcast with Cody and Liv. You didn't get to meet them or talk with them or nothing. You just watched the podcast. Paying to watch a YouTube later televised or aired podcast.
Yeah.
Craziness. Liz said 5.5. Nate gave it a 5. Let's see here. Acquisition gave it a 6 because of the Braun Breaker counter. I agree. You know, you got to have that in mind. That was pretty incredible to see him just get pounced all the way to hell. Tonight,
yeah.
AEW Double or Nothing. We got our man on the inside. Cody's going to be interviewing the popcorn vendor there tonight at Double or Nothing. So very excited to hear what the ice cream man and the popcorn guy have to say about Double or Nothing live in Queens, New York at the Louis Armstrong Stadium.
The janitor.
I love it. Well, I tried to get him in with the janitor, but apparently he's really busy between those hours. So the popcorn guy, he can interview. He's just got to follow while he does his job. So
What about the beer guy? I mean, the guy that comes down with the cup of beer, and like he need to interview him too.
there was that one incident, the one time Cody drank at a wrestling show. So now they don't allow him. They actually make him get a wristband that shows he can't have alcohol. I mean, he's old enough, but we don't need another Scooby-Doo situation. There's so much blood. Still, tonight, AEW Double or Nothing. Going to be a great time. Whether you're in attendance or not, it's going to be a long show. But we'll be there for the long haul. We'll be live after they go off the air when we see either Darby Allin or MJF win or retain. We're going to go ahead and then start the review. We'll be in the open Discord. Come hang out with us. Let us know what you thought of Double or Nothing. Gents, let's start off. We got Chris Jericho, Bobby Lashley, and crew taking on Team Ricochet. 14-man Stadium Stampede match. First Stampede was Jericho versus the Elite. Now he's teaming with them. So I think it's Team Jericho. I'm sticking with that prediction. It seems to be pretty straightforward. What are you thinking, Pico?
Yeah,
The team with less nobodies wins. So Jericho's.
That would be Jericho's. What are you thinking, Casey?
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to be Jericho's team. It's like Pico said. I mean, a little less of the nobodies. Like, I mean, the only person on the other side is like Ricochet, and who else?
You got Ricochet, his
Carol
lovely
O'Connor.
backup. Yeah, so right here we've got Team Ricochet, Toa Leona, Bishop Korn, Mark Davis, Andrade El Idolo with his 3 inches of fury packing down low, David Finlay and Clark Connors taking on Jericho, Lashley, Benjamin, Omega, Matt and Nick, the Young Bucks, and Jack Perry.
That's going to be a hell of a match. I think that's going to be awesome.
It's going to
In a
be
tennis stadium.
going to be in a stadium, and it's going to be a stampede. Going to be a lot of chaos going on there. Ricochet, his paid goons, taking on the Elite and whatnot. Ricochet's got to lose here. They got
Great.
they got the big
Isn't
moment
she
the other
Memphis?
day, putting everybody through tables. So usually when the heels do that, the faces win.
Speaking of stampede match, that'd be a good spot for the Resistible Horses.
They all
Tag
should have
me.
went through tables and tables on fire. Stack them up. Put them through a scissor lift while we're at it. Yeah, I agree. Jericho's team got this in the bag. It's no longer Chris Jericho. It's just Jericho. That's how he reinvented himself. He got rid of the Chris. And we've got the start of 3 Owen Hart Cup tournament quarter final matchups. I had to say it like they're like, Malcolm in the Middle kid. But Athena taking on Mina Shirakawa in a women's Owen Hart quarterfinal match. I think Athena wins here, obviously. She's got the belt still in Ring of Honor, the forever champ. I don't imagine her losing at this point in time. Casey, what are you thinking?
Agree. Even though I don't think she's going to make it all the way to the end, because she seems not to be able to win the big one in AEW, but I don't see her losing right away.
Yeah, and with Willow having to relinquish her title due to the shoulder injury, it's interesting to see what's going to happen now that they've had to kind of move some stuff around for matchups. So, Pico, are you agreeing as well that Athena wins, or are you thinking just
Ember Moon
Mina
with the
shakes
win.
it? Ember Moon
Ember
all
Moon wins.
day with the stunner. Then we've got Swerve Strickland, thank you, love, and Bandito in a men's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarter final matchup. son of a bitch, Swerve Strickland is taking this. Bandito being the ROH champ should make him have the edge, but it's not going to happen because Swerve's on this current heel run where it's everybody else's fault, and he needs to take the belt back. So it's an interesting change of affair going from whose house to fuck you. The fans really turned on him quick, shows that they did a good job with the heel turn. Swerve Strickland's winning this in my book. Casey, what are you thinking?
I agree again. I think Swerve's winning this one. I mean, like you said, Bandino is the Ring of Honor World Champion,
Yeah.
but it's like, I mean,
You would think.
Well, but he's also Swerve's also the former AEW World Champion. So I mean, granted, you would think AEW World trumps the Ring of Honor. So
Essentially, it
would
might, so.
So yeah, Swerve.
Absolutely. Pico, what are you thinking? You sticking with Swerve Strickland or Swerve Scott?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Bringing him back. What was it? Hit row. Then we've got, surprisingly enough, Will Ospreay. He's finally going to go ahead and recover from that broken neck and kill somebody. We'll see. Samoa Joe might be the next victim for Ospreay, being trained by the Death Riders to decimate and destroy everybody. This is our quarterfinal match in the tournament, so whoever wins this one will then take on Swerve or Bandito. Ospreay has to win here. All there is to it. I haven't loved the story they're telling with him and the Death Riders, and it really rubbed me the wrong way, and I was burnt out on it. But if it ends up being where he gets his wins back and makes it to All In to go for the title, I'm okay with it. So I think we're getting Ospreay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels that way.
I don't agree with the booking decision to have him face somebody who's already broken necks before.
Yes.
But-
Oh my God. Yeah. Even
The
though,
whole
I mean,
implication. They mentioned that in one of the interviews too. Joe had basically hinted at like, oh, I've already destroyed people before and claimed some necks previously. So
Great.
But that's a big win for him, though, too, beating Samoa Joe.
it is a big
So it's
win,
not-
but you figure Ospreay would have been champ by now once before, but still
Saving it for
just
England.
yeah, cruising those wheels along on cruise control. Ospreay has to win. Do the Death Riders get involved? I don't believe so. I think they're just trying to turn him into this ultimate killer that, yeah, it's like the Winter Soldier idea. Like eventually the Death Riders, he'll still be a good guy, but they'll have like mind control over him or some type of mental, ownership. It's bizarre, but Ospreay wins here. And then speaking of the Death Riders, the ultimate transition that I can produce, you go ahead and see, thank you, love. We see coffee be delivered. We see John Moxley, former Dean Ambrose, taking on Kyle O'Reilly. So we've got the Shield against the Undisputed Era. Pico, where are we going with this one? Because I got Moxley.
Yeah, O'Reilly is like the most non-intimidating wrestler I can think of right now. Yeah, Moxley.
And they try to make him super threatening and intimidating and this irresistible force meets a movable object kind of scenario where like you can't stop him, but he's always in his own way. But that's not the case here. So he's done all these great submissions and.
Yeah, O'Reilly had a backpack on one night. He's wearing a backpack.
Just
what the hell? That's
coming from high school, picking up chicks with Orange Cassidy. What's up, fellow kids? Just walking around, homeless. He's got it over one shoulder, trying to look cool.
He's been the weak link in every group.
See, I liked him in the Undisputed Era. I just didn't care for Bobby Fish, so I never liked Red Dragon, and that stuck. But I think we're all in agreement that Moxley wins here. O'Reilly doesn't seem to have much of a chance, time limit or not, because they're playing up on O'Reilly beating Moxley, but not doing it within the amount of time. So Moxley retains, and yay.
Yeah.
Seems like
I
it.
think
Then
it'll be
we've
hell
got. I'm sure it will be a good match, but hopefully they stay away from that of the hardcore variety here and make
Moxley
Moxley
bleeds.
really wrestler. Yeah,
I'll
he's
bet my
always going to,
testicles
but
on it.
I will as well. Both the left ones. We've got
I have three, so.
probably one of the bigger matches of the night. Okada, the AEW International Champion, taking on Konosuke Takeshita. Ooh, baby. I've not been impressed, enjoyed, or cared for Okada once in AEW. I really enjoyed him up until then, but it feels like he got to AEW and just turned on the lazy mode, and he has not shined since. I can't recall one amazing performance. People are like, oh, the one with Bryan Danielson. That wasn't great either, and he broke Bryan's fucking arm with an elbow drop. Like, what are you talking about? That was the start of the end for Bryan. Ever since then, he never fully recovered because he just kept getting hurt. And then that was it. So go till the wheels falls off is not the best thought plan at times.
Wheel?
The one wheel. Now he's just hobbling. Takeshita has to win this. If they delay this anymore with the Don Callis fucking extended family, it's like double the Brady Bunch, triple almost at this point. Then Don Callis went and met this fucking lady, and they had 9 retards who can't wrestle either. Like, it just keeps going. Takeshita wins, right, Casey?
I was actually thinking Okada.
You would.
He might
I
retain.
hate
Cheat and win.
Yeah.
It can happen.
I think Okada.
I don't love the idea, but I don't hate it. I could see it being what they do with it. I mean, really, they're going to go ahead and mess with us and like, oh, that close, but he used the screwdriver or whatever. What do you think, Pico?
Okada's had a belt like nonstop for what, like 3 years now?
Yes.
He even had one
Since
lost
the
one
first
until-
Continental Classic, and he's defended in every classic since.
Yeah, it's like that. So I'm gonna. Yeah, it's just time to get a belt off him. He needs.
Exactly.
take
like, it's so spent.
In the battle of ramen, I'll take shit.
For honor. Even Liz agrees, and Nate. Takeshita wins and beats Okada. Casey, you're probably not crazy for thinking that. I know you're not, but hopefully you're wrong, bud. And I don't say that often.
Yeah.
Tekla,
Yeah, hopefully.
the women's champ.
Be.
You might be onto it, though. Hopefully not. Tekla defending her women's championship against Shida, Statlander, and Hayter. This is another trope of wrestling where you got a champ, you don't know what to do, really. You don't have like one opponent, you got multiple, so you don't want your champ to lose, and you're going to stick everybody together. It's going to be like where Jamie Hayter almost wins, and then Tekla goes ahead and Spider Lady steals it, and it'll turn into a singles match between Hayter and Tekla next time is my guess. We'll see, but what are you thinking, Casey?
I think Tekla will retain.
Seems to be
I think-
on the smart bet.
I think it's too early for her to lose it so fast.
I totally agree. So, she's not had it for that long. And even Kalshi and other like betting odds still have her, I guess, being favored by quite a large margin. So they have her as the favorite minus 1,000. The closest to it is Jamie Hayter at plus 350. So it doesn't seem like anybody believes that, anybody's winning but Tekla here. Yeah, Pico, you agree as well? Tekla retains in this 4-way?
Yeah, I'll take Tickler. And I was thinking if Hikaru married Konosuke, would she be Hikaru Shida Takeshita?
She would be. Hikaru take a shit.
Or would
Shida Takeshita.
Say
Or-
Tickler?
Yeah, Tickler. It's
I call
Tickler.
her Tickler.
Well, what if they made
H is
Takeshita
silent
take
like tango.
her last name, so it'd be Konosuke Shida.
Take a shit, a Sheeta. Oh yeah.
See?
Take a sheet of Sheeta.
Take a shit, a Shida. That's a hell of an indie name if he ever gets let go. Now, and you can turn it into a tag name.
Yeah, and then they could marry Lita, and she'd be Lita Sheeta. Take a Sheeta.
Lita Shida Takeshita. That's the most
Lita
amazing
Takeshita Shida.
throuple I've heard of.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we can add in Tekla and call him Tikla Takeshita. Now it's a whole house full. Speaking of a house full, we got another tag match, and it's the World Tag Team Champions in an I Quit match. FTR taking on Cage and Cope. They have teased these two winning time and time and time again. First, it was the will they, won't they, go fuck yourself angle, and then go fuck yourself, and then they started to work together. I hated that they never had Christian go face. Like, you could have kept him an asshole without being an actual asshole. Like, he and Edge should just be working together. Cope and Cage, they're Temu version, shells of their former selves. It's not Edge and Christian. I want it to be, but it's not. I think they're going to win. Yes. For the benefit of those with cell phones. I don't have any more. It's going to be Ospreay winning the night, and he's going to come out. He's going to take Cope. He's going to choke him till he passes out. And then Christian's going to be like, what are you doing? And then the Death Riders are going to viciously and violently Cage, and then FTR. No, I think Cope and Cage are winning. It's going to be, they make FTR say I quit because of their manager. What's his name? Stokely. They're going to have him go ahead and run his mouth and get involved, and just as they're about to kill him through a table or something, that's when FTR will quit. I think that's what's going to happen. That's my guess. Casey, what are you thinking?
I think definitely Cage and Cope will definitely they'll win. But I hate to say this. I hate to disagree. I do like Christian Cage's gimmick. Even though he's kind of the face right now, I love he's still acting like an asshole.
Yeah, I think he could still be an asshole without being a heel. They kind of shifted a little bit away from it, but for a long time, it just took away from the dynamic of the team up, I felt like personally. But I'm glad you're able to get something from it, and hopefully they deliver tonight. Pico, what are you thinking?
Yes, I also like asshole face Christian.
Yeah.
They got to win it.
That's what I wanted.
But I'm
sooner.
Afraid that all these matches have been pretty much, we've agreed on every one. They've all, pretty predictable, but this could be the one that is a swerve and doesn't come true.
Now they don't get to team up ever again. I mean, it is a very interesting.
So,
because they could pull this. Imagine now they can't team up ever again. They never got the tag titles. They never. And then they have to do.
But they could come back as the Conquistadors.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm thinking. Like they come back as Brood eventually, or so. You know what I mean? Like they can have so many alter egos and.
Yeah. So, but
I like the
I'm
Conquistador idea. That's genius.
They should win because they're already 106 combined. So I think you got to give it to them now.
Pretty much.
I think Tony is going to want Cage and Cope to be at least one tag team champions under their belts because, he wanted the Hardy Boys to do it too.
Yeah.
So I don't see him dropping the ball on Cage and Cope.
It is funny too because he loved the Hardys and it just did not work out. It didn't come to fruition the way they treated Matt. And then when Jeff finally got in there, he was having all the issues. And then as soon as he gets away from AEW, now he's clean again and doing great, and TNA gets to benefit. Always funny how it works. I didn't preview the pre-show. They've added a few other matches here. I don't think anybody's going nuts by it, but like I said, we had the Hook match versus the Death Riders, the women's tag champs in a 5-minute Eliminator, and then Team Orange Cassidy taking on with Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall, even though I thought they hated each other, taking on Team Shane Taylor. Yay. So last of the two, obviously, actually, no, we've got our main event. And that would be it. I was thinking there was one more, but we already went ahead and mentioned Moxley and O'Reilly. So, the top and main event build match. Title versus hair. MJF at -300 against Darby Allin at +200. The closest odds we have of the night. I'm saying MJF takes the title here. Unfortunately, away from Darby. Darby's whole crash and burn, put on amazing matches until it's over, do it all you can until the wheels fall off angle worked well. He was never going to be a long-term champion. It was just about him being champion. He got the hometown spot, all those things. He got the recognition and the fan love that he, was earned and deserved. MJF is the heel to head in to face Ospreay at All In. He's not going to lose his precious hair. And Darby's going to lose the title. Simple as that. Chat, let me know what you think. But, Casey, what are you betting on happening here?
I do agree that MJF is going to win. But let me throw this at you. Let's say that Darby does win. That doesn't mean MJF can't just, after he loses, that he can just run out and just be the chicken at the shit heel, and that he backs out of the deal, where he can keep
his hair and
yes, you know what I mean.
Well, he would have
beat the asshole.
He would have ran out on Darby on the match that he had to fight him at if he was going to do something like that. He would have done that then.
Maybe
he's got to have his hair shaved.
If he loses, he'll probably get his head shaved, but I don't think he's losing. I think they're avoiding that, and they're going to have him be the one to face Will, because they're going to want a big triumphant moment, as they love to have it All In, and that would be excellent, seeing Ospreay, with the help, I guess, of the Death Riders, take on MJF and beat him. So MJF doesn't need the belt. I concur, but I feel like Tony Khan is not having MJF lose in New York in a hair match when it's not like he has long locks either. Yes, he got the transplant, but it doesn't feel like a big enough consequence to me anyways, especially for him. It's not like when Wardlow had, locks down to his ass cheeks and then cut it off. MJF good at getting heat, but...
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he loses, because the transplant, obviously he does want to live up to his end of the deal, so he runs out.
Yeah,
so he
gets the hell out of there. He could chicken out of it. It's certainly possible. They're saying there's an absent star, former AEW TNT champion, has not been seen. So Wardlow has not wrestled. And they're saying, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. That was one of my three things here. One is Wardlow coming back and helping MJF. Two is something I mentioned a while back, was that doing a when Sting and was it Luger against Flair, and Sting was out there and they were beating, the Horsemen were beating up Sting and Luger was distracted and he ended up losing. Or when Shawn Michaels was wrestling Sid and Jose Lothario got beat up and Shawn lost his attention and got beaten. Somehow Sting comes out there and, somebody's Wardlow or MJF or somebody's going to hurt Sting or something. And Sting ends up costing Darby in it. Or this is the other one.
Interesting for number two.
Interesting. Who haven't we seen in a while?
Who's that?
Well, who haven't we seen in a while and who can never challenge for the world title again?
Ooh, the Hangman.
What if Hangman comes in there and beats up Darby, and the agreement is that he gets a title shot for doing that?
Because it wasn't MJF, right? It was just he could never challenge for the championship again.
Right, but MJF will win the title then, so he has to give him a shot.
Yeah. Well, I don't hate it. I mean, it's all about wording. Fans might dislike it with it going back on
Well, they
the
turn
previous
Swerve heel. They
agreement,
can
but
turn Hangman heel. They can put Hangman and Swerve together as a heel, fucking like a 2-man power trip kind of,
yeah.
badass heel again.
I could see Wardlow, because he tore his shoulder a while ago while filming American Gladiator. He's been due to come back for a while, and
He's in New York. They've already caught
yeah,
him.
he's there. We saw that being announced.
So one of those three, but even if it's not one of those three, MJF wins.
Yes. I think MJF is definitely winning, and hey, it seems to be making sense. So,
Hey, Jay,
yes, sir.
didn't I hear that the American Gladiators was being filmed in England?
It
Like,
was at
come
one
on.
point, I believe. Part of it was, but I'm not entirely sure.
That's
let's
what I
see
thought I heard. It's like, so why is it still American Gladiators? Like, if it's in England.
I think it might have just been filmed there, if anything, but everybody is Wisconsin born, American born, or American. Yeah. Michael
They just
Wardlow, Joseph Hall. Yeah, they've got a lot of people in there. He plays Fang. You got Boogs in there, Rick Boogs. Who else?
Oh yeah, Rick Boogs.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool. He
Mr.
went to the same high school
Pectacular.
as my mom.
Mr. Pectacular.
Him and
Let's see
Shinsuke.
here.
What a nightmare.
Right? Yeah, I don't see filming, but that doesn't mean much in this point, so.
I just feel bad for Wardlow because he keeps getting that push and then he's like almost there and then they're like either he gets hurt or they take it away from him.
Every single time.
The
It was
Greg
actually
Oden of
filmed in
wrestling.
France.
It's in France?
It was filmed in France, both due to restrictions and taxes stuff, so.
That's weird.
A lot of things are done like that overseas, and not a lot of things are filmed in the United States, so. I didn't know that, though. But yeah, Tekla admits the night that she did the You're All Bitches promo that she picked the worst possible spot. She's like, I'm walking down. I didn't see the kids there. I was like, man, I'm a dumb bitch for choosing that spot. Their dads were like, no, it's fine. We're Tekla fans. She said, little kids love me for some reason. I don't know why, but that is hilarious because everyone criticized her for going off and off and off when she had just a whole, section of children around her here. So, oh, Tekla. Funny. Yeah, AEW Double or Nothing. That is every match predicted. Like I said, we'll be live tonight with that. We gave Saturday night's main event a full review and score, giving it a 5 overall for Saturday night's mid event, basically being a house show. We'll be live tomorrow night for the Monday Night Raw Memorial Day edition review. Obafemi is opening the show.
Can't wait.
Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu. They got that contract signing for Clash in Italy. We've got
Great.
Raquel.
That'll go over smoothly.
That's going to be great. No one's going to fight there. Raquel and Roxanne, the Judgment Day, taking on Bird Lady, Lyra, and Bailey in a tag team match. Come on now. Who's not excited for that?
Make 10:10 to 10:30 the Roman entrance and talk segment.
Yeah, 10 to 10:30 every week. Just the Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu section. Absolutely. We'll just do it continually. I hate that the Usos are even involved as much as they are. It should just be Roman and Jacob. But tomorrow night, our final push for the Clash in Italy, PLE. You saw Adam Pearce announce the mini preview. Hopefully we'll hear a few more things on Raw before then. And then, of course, we'll be live for NXT this Tuesday as well. Wednesday, we'll be live with our predictions for Clash in Italy, as well as our Dynamite review. Thursday will be game night, and Friday we'll be there for SmackDown. And then over the weekend, the 31st on Sunday in the afternoon, we'll be here for Clash in Italy. I think it starts at 2 Eastern that day. So we'll be live sometime around 5. We've got Obafemi taking on Brock Lesnar, Becky Lynch, and Sol Ruca, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill for the women's title, Cody and Gunther for the WWE title, and then we've got Roman Reigns taking on Jacob Fatu and Tribal comeback for the World Heavyweight title. Gonna be exciting for sure. Again, thank you to everybody for hanging out with us. I do apologize for the internet being out last night. Not much we could do about it, but you know, and then you had to listen and deal with Cody today. I'm sorry for that as well, but
Jake, I really don't want you to end up like the 2008 Lions and the 2017 Browns and have a winless season.
Yeah, so actually, I will. I've been schooled now, so I've gotten a little bit of when I was in therapy the other day. I was discussing it with some lovely older gentleman. And he's like, if you hit this, I know Liz has offered 5,000 times, and you as well. I haven't had time. So we went into the fantasy thing, and at least now I know how to pick my lineup. So that's good. Got my quick lineup set. They're good to go. And I know you just said you wanted to make some trades, so I got to get that going. But look at that.
Oh, yeah, the hell no.
At least I figured out the lineup. So we're getting somewhere. Liz has been a ultimate sweetheart, offering 1,000 times, and I've been pulled in a million directions, unfortunately. And every time I think I'm going to have some free time, we lose the internet, or I end up in the hospital. Be able to beat Cody. I'm going to beat Cody. That's what's going to happen. Paul's Fecal Flyers slap me around, but the Phillies are not going to be dead now. I'm going to work through it though, and not be a total winless
I'm slapping
season.
Everybody around, so it's okay.
What it was is they have on mobile, they have the way to like do the automatic quick lineup. So you can just hit one button. But on the PC side of things, I apparently was not in the right section. So now that I've figured it out, I've got myself.
There's always next year.
Yeah, I've got myself a bit better equipped, and then we can prepare for the IntoSomewhere Football League this upcoming
That's what
September.
the Mets say. There's always next year.
Or there's always next decade, century, lifetime, eternity.
They'll win one in their lifetime.
That's stupid. Poor Cody. It's pouring out too. At first I was like, damn, we should get to go. Then I'm like, oh, I could not scoot in the rain like this with the thunderstorms going on. That'd be a disaster trying to catch the train and just scooting the whole time. So Liz, thank you so much again for being the top donor of the stream. I and everybody appreciates you greatly. I look forward to anybody and everybody that wants to join the review tonight. We will have the open Discord as always. Thank you to Casey, and indeed thank you to the one and only Pico for being here. Thank you to Cody for stopping by. You can find Cody online at Judgment Day Era on Twitter and YouTube, and on Instagram at Cody_Onidi_316. Give
me a hell yeah.
And let's hope we don't find Cody in a ditch tonight somewhere.
Let's hope. I mean, that, or he's going to be on the corner with a sign, like I said before, just you fill my cup, I'll fill yours. It might happen.
I don't want him to turn back to that again, I
don't either. I
thought his days of that were over.
I thought so, but if he blows all his money on those little Fabergé egg addiction that he had again, anything's possible. That or all the pictures. I mean... That shit gets pricey. I don't know. That's the thing. He doesn't have a lot of room. Well, I mean,
besides anally, where would he put them?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the... But I wonder how many can fit now. That's the real question. Find Liz at DJ Anime 2016 on YouTube and on twitch.tv as well. Follow her for gaming streams. And then I'm going to go ahead and yap at you one more time, because... if you need to relax and when life is stressful, trust me, go to BayMountainAG.com. And viewers of this channel get themselves discounts all the way up to $50 spent or more. Gives you 15% off on all top selling products. And then you get free shipping anywhere in the lower 48 United States. So go ahead and check out baymountainag.com for premium CBD for mind and body wellness. Go to vidiq.com/IntoSomewhere to grow your channel faster on YouTube. And also, IntoSomewhere is powered by XSplit. So XSplit Broadcaster is the best all-in-one streaming and recording studio for content creation. And you have unlimited customization options. You could try it for free or use code BANANA at checkout for 20% off any of the premium options. That code is the largest discount code available at this point in time. So make sure you go ahead and use that. Contact me on Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok, all at Countdown Ended. And check out the new album. We released 35 of our top tracks. The first album, IntoSomewhere, is officially released everywhere music can be streamed. YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, you name it, it's out there. I've been going nuts. I've been channeling as much mini time that I have of bullshit, trying to go ahead and focus it into something productive and positive. I got a bunch of cool new drum beats and stuff that I got to go ahead and mess around with and keep screwing with here. You know, it's fun, but it's getting there. And then I turn it into actual songs, right? Yeah. Feel the jazz beat.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. And dig it. I appreciate you all greatly. And again, I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you tonight for the IntoSomewhere review. Again, thank you, Pico and Casey, for being here. I hope you all stay sexy, and we'll catch you tonight.